Okay, so because we did not have time to thoroughly cover the homework in class, I want to quickly follow up with you all and give you all some guidance. Um, and hopefully this video will be a nice alternative to a long email. So reading for this week, there are 3 required readings for the week. The first is going to be the most challenging. It's 7 pretty dense pages. Age, Race, Class, and Sex by Audre Lorde. The next is an essay by Bell Hooks called Critical Thinking. And the third is The Identity Politics of Whiteness, a short 3-page essay. You should also continue doing research for your collaborative projects. Try to find and read, or at least familiarize yourself with, 3 news sources this week. Okay, assignments. The first is the driving question proposal, which we've already talked about. We'll talk about that more in a second. That's due by midnight on Sunday. Next, the time management assignment. That's going to be due on Tuesday at midnight before class. I'm also going to ask you to submit those 3 sources that you find for your collaborative project. You just have to submit them to Canvas by midnight the day before class. You won't have to write anything about them. The idea here is just to keep you on track as far as your research goes. And also don't forget to set aside time for the pre-class overview and discussion board, which is always due at 12 o'clock the day before or the day of our Wednesday class session. Okay, I showed you all this in class. For those of y'all who do want to meet with me this week, you can sign up at the optional meeting sign up page here during, which is part of the module for class this week. As I mentioned, you're not required to meet with me. Just do so if it feels useful to you. You can also email me any questions that you have. Okay, let's talk about the driving question proposal first. So the driving question proposal is due Sunday evening. As I mentioned in the assignment sheet though, I would like you all to email me a rough draft of your driving question proposal by 5 p.m. on Sunday before it's due at the latest. So earlier is better, but as long as you get it to me by 5 p.m. you should be good. I just want to make sure that you're on the right track with your driving question and have the opportunity to provide you with some feedback. So you can present me with your driving question idea in our meeting, or you can just shoot me an email and ask me to take a look. And please do include any other questions you have in that email. So for the driving question, the main thing is to formulate a strong driving question like we talked about today in class. But I'm also going to ask you to continue your research, as I mentioned before, and check in with your group to make sure that everyone's on the same page and that you really do feel like all of your topics and driving questions fit with the theme that you have selected. Okay, the time management experiment. And this we really didn't have time to discuss in class. Basically, the idea behind this assignment is to help you get a better understanding of which scheduling practices work best for you. So I'm going to ask you to fully schedule out every hour of 3 days of your life between now and next class. So for example, you could choose Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. You would create a schedule either online or by hand where you account for every hour of your day. When are you going to be working? When are you going to be relaxing? When are you going to be at work? When are you going to be hanging out with friends or fulfilling other obligations that you might have? Create a schedule for 3 days. And at the end of each day, I want you to assess what went well and what didn't. How did you deviate from your schedule and why? The idea here is not that you have to stick to your schedule. I mean, you should try to because you made the schedule and obviously you want to accomplish the things on it, but you won't be graded on that. The idea is just to become more self-aware about what scheduling practices work best and how long things actually take us, because sometimes we can really vastly overestimate or underestimate that. So finally, after you've created your schedule, assessed how things are going on day 1, day 2, and day 3, at the end of the whole process, I'm going to ask you to do a short self-reflection about the experience of keeping a schedule and whether or not you were able to stick to it and why or why not. So this is all explained pretty thoroughly in an assignment sheet on Canvas. here we are. So for more information, just go ahead and see this link on the module for the week. That's it. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. Peace.